Hello everyone, welcome to another video. My name is Kamada, and this is a match review for the Chelsea versus Aston Villa game where Project Restart was a go and Chelsea returns after 105 days of no football, 3 months of no football. It's glad. I'm happy to say that I'm making a match review after 3 months of no football, and we come back with a bang. Yes, it wasn't the most aesthetically pleasing game. Yes, it wasn't the most fluid, the most progressive, the most quick, fast attacking football, the counter-pressing football that we are usually used to this season. But a win's a win. We got the job done. We got the 3 points. Yes, it was scrappy. Yes, it was hard fought. But we got the away win, 3 points secured. And we move on to our quest for top 4. And to be honest, there's a lot I want to dissect in this game. Player performances, what I thought Lampard did tactics-wise, the philosophy, and what we can look forward to when we come into Man City game next week. I'm making a preview for that for you guys as well, and what we need to improve on. But it's good to get started with a win. A win was crucial here. Now I needed to stress this before Project Restart. I was stressing this on social media. That essentially, for me, performances, they're not the highest on the priority. We're coming to that marathon, that sprint end of the season where, 3 points is pivotal. We've had a long break. Players that are not sharp, haven't got that match fitness, that sharpness. 3 points, and we need to secure top 4, to get that Champions League football. So for me, that was pivotal, and we got the job done, and we came back from behind as well, which is another positive away win as well. But before they go into, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and comment down below your thoughts and opinions on the match that happens. Who do you think was your man of the match? Leave me your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. But without further ado, let's get straight into the depths of this match review. Now, get started off with the lineup. 4-3-3 lineup, my preferred lineup. Lampard started. Kepa, Arrizabalaga in goal. Alonso left back. Azpilicueta right back, as Reece James picked up a little bit of a knock in the last couple of weeks. We had Rudiger and Christensen as our centre-back pairing. We had Kante in a DM position for the first time, playing that deepest, that sweeper role. We had Kovacic just slightly further ahead of him, and we had Mason Mount in the left mid-centre position, number 8 position. We had Ruben Loftus-Cheek making a return after 13 months of no football, making his return on the wing. Going to be speaking about his performance. And Willian on the right-hand side with Olivier Giroud leading the line in the number 9 position. Now, player performances in the first half, we started the game brightly. I thought that the game was quite good, moving the ball quite quickly. It looked like, the sharpness was there with most players. Now, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, understandably, he didn't have that match sharpness. He was lacking that cutting edge. It looked a bit lethargic, and obviously he was played out of position, so you have to cut him a bit of slack. I don't want to go too deep into Ruben because he's been out for a long time and he was out of position, but he was poor today. I'll have to be honest, he was poor. Yes, his passes were okay, but he wasn't driving like he was. He was very cautious and reserved. Expected, again, he doesn't want to risk an injury. He's just come back from a very, very heavy and long injury, so you have to give respect to him for that. Mason Mount, I thought, was our best player on the pitch in the first half, was creating things, was shooting, his passing was good, his link-up play was nice, the way he was operating in between lines, his half space, his movement was elite as well. I thought that Mason Mount was our creative spark in that sense. I thought Mason Mount had a very, very good, solid performance. Speaking about Kovacic as well, Kovacic again, he's been terrific this season, as we know. Obviously, since the restart, there's been that massive break. Decent performance, nothing special, nothing noteworthy. Transitioning play nicely, keeping it ticking, passing is good. But I want to really delve into Kante's performance in this game. Now, regarding N'Golo Kante, it was his first time playing in that DM position where usually Jorginho or Kovacic would play. He was essentially, ball progressing the ball, making those interceptions, scanning the area, making those ball progressions. Normally, what Jorginho would do. Obviously, Jorginho is a master of that position, and Kante obviously was a shadow of what Jorginho would do. And I thought that he handled it pretty well. Now, let's bear in mind it was against a deep blocked Aston Villa, who wasn't creating much chances. It wasn't actually pressing too high, having a high press against Kante. But what I was impressed by Kante was his, his decision making, his passing. He was aggressive. He was fast paced. He was winning the ball back nicely, scanning and covering that back four very, very nicely. I have to give props to him for that. But against the Man City, where Man City will press a lot more, they'll be pressing Kante a lot more. I think Kante will get exposed in that sense because he is playing out of position. Kante is not a natural DM. Kante is a box-to-box midfielder playing in the pivot in his best position. Jorginho plays in that position. I'll notice a lot of times where Jorginho would scan the area nicely because he knows what to do beforehand with the high IQ footballing intelligence, making those forward final third passes. Kante a lot of the times was passing it backwards, but that's understandable. I let him off for that. He's out of position, but a very, very solid performance. And I'll give kudos to N'Golo Kante. I was very impressed with how he handled the situation. And he was making some nice passes. Good to see Kante back in full match fitness. Now let's get onto the front three. Of course, I already mentioned Ruben's touch up on his performance. Willian, I thought Willian lacked creativity, was very, very lazy, and didn't really look committed. He hasn't signed that extension yet. So as it stands, he will be leaving in about 10 days' time. And it's a shame, to be honest. He's been here for 7 years, and if he does leave in that manner, it is quite disappointing. But it was very lazy, a lethargic performance. The creativity wasn't there. The spark wasn't there. Lazy fouls giving away, wasn't good with the link-up play. I was really, really disappointed with Willian's performance. Another one of those, passenger-esque performances, just keeping everything ticking, not making anything happen. Really disappointed. But Giroud getting a winning goal, nice link-up play, was a bit rusty in the first half, understandably, but his target man abilities, that's his strongest attributes. Linking up the play, passing was nice, terrific goal as well, getting a winning goal for us and securing those 3 points. I thought good, his touch up, his strength, his holding on to the ball is very, very nice. So Giroud, good decision by Frank Lampard tactically, and also sticking Giroud in our starting 11. Now let's get on to Kepa Arrizabalaga, our number one goalkeeper, our world record goalkeeper. For me, he had a very, very good performance. I know some people are blaming him for the goal that we conceded, and I'm completely baffled by that. I'm genuinely baffled. He made a fantastic save in the first 30 minutes. His passing and distribution I thought was class. There was a couple of times where, his distribution is very, very good. I thought it was quality, class distribution. And obviously for the goal, he did actually save the oncoming set piece. Now we'll get to set pieces in a second, but the set piece came in and Kepa made a really good, quality reaction save. And obviously it rebounded there. Now, in that situation, the defence has to be a lot sharper. The defence has to react quicker. The centre-backs were split apart. The reaction was way too slow. Fantastic reaction save. And unfortunately, the defence let him down in that situation. Now, in my opinion, you have to be a lot stronger. You have to be performing at a high level. The centre-backs, honestly, Rudiger was very, very shaky. There was that opportunity in the first half where, he's getting out-jumped by Grealish, that situation. And, I've always mentioned this a lot. His aerial jaws is not the best. He loses a lot of headers. And for someone who's so tall and athletic, it's quite surprising how he loses a lot of aerial jaws. I thought Rudiger was very, very clumsy. His passing was awkward. His defensive awareness and positioning was dreadful. I thought Christensen had a solid first half. Made that little error down right about 2 minutes from the end of the game, which could have cost us there. The error prone, he needs to be careful with that. But Christensen has been very, very good, and in my opinion is our most technical and our best centre-back. For Rudiger was very, very clumsy. Kepa overall, like I said, distribution was quality, a fantastic game backhand, on his way to really prove Lampard why he is our future keeper, in my personal opinion. Now, I really want to speak about the substitutions. Obviously, Christian Pulisic, Captain America, strikes again, came on, got our equaliser, fantastic far post run, and a nice tidy finish into the back of the net, and really proving to Lampard why he is at the moment our best wing and why he needs to be starting our games. I'm not sure why he didn't start. Could be a tactical reason. What I like about Lampard's tactical philosophy here is what he gave Pulisic tactically. Giving Pulisic that ability to drive, making those late man runs off Giroud. For me, he was quality. Generally, I thought that Pulisic made those runs in behind. I was really, really impressed with him. His agility, his dribbling, his skill, his operations in the half space, his passing, shooting, everything there. And I think that he had that sharpness. So he's obviously been training during that 3-month quarantine period, lockdown period. He's sharp, he's quick, had that energy as well. And same with Ross Barkley. I thought Ross Barkley was very good, very, very good. Had a fantastic end before we had lockdown. I thought that, it's ticking along nicely, making nice passes. I was really, really impressed. I think Pulisic really, really made that difference. And I'm really, really impressed by Lampard's tactical awareness, decisions to make those quick substitutions. And what I've always been annoyed about in the past with previous managers is we've always been reactive rather than proactive. We'll go 1-0 down, or, there'll be half an hour left. Why are you making a change in the 70th minute when you can make a change in 50th, 55th minute, allow the players to adjust to the game scenario, but also, if you can see something's not working, you be proactive so you can change enough. That's what I really liked about Lampard's tactical substitutions. I thought that he had the tactics right. The formation was spot on. I thought the lineup was quite good. It had that balance between defensive and offensively as well. That defensive stability, but also offensive, because we know the set piece is a massive issue. By having Marcos Alonso that's relatively tall, you try and nullify that threat. So, those kind of little tweak tactically. However, again, it's the same reoccurring problem. Set pieces I keep mentioning, I keep stressing. It's been a reoccurring issue for the last 2-3 seasons. The problem is we haven't got physical players. We simply haven't. The amount of physical players we have is a handful. You know, Rudiger maybe, and he's not great aerially. Marcos Alonso, Kepa's not the tallest goalkeeper. This is what I mean. You know, our midfield is very relatively short. Jorginho, Kante, Kovacic, Azpilicueta is very short. Christensen is not the most physical when it comes to presence. You know, we do lack aerially and when it comes to height, and obviously set pieces is a massive weakness, and something I've always said here, it needs to be zonal, because we can't do it man mark, because the problem with man marking is, you know, we haven't got the players, the height is not there with the players. It's a massive issue that we need to sort out, and it's something that Aston Villa targeted, but we got the 3 points. Yes, it wasn't the most fluid, the most fast, the most elegant, aesthetically pleasing performance, but we got the job done. We got the 3 points, and that was the most important thing from today that we could take away. And I'm really happy with the performance. But if you did enjoy this review, don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe to my channel, hit the bell notification, and I will see you guys for my next video. Peace.